7. Back then it was called a life-saving service. They had men who would row out boats and save mariners in distress. The U.S. Coast Guard was formed in 1915 when the life-saving service was combined with the Cutter Revenue Service, a government agency out chasing rum runners at the time during Prohibition. Coast Guard Group Galveston has several operations going on here. The first ships were passing by, the black and white ones with the cranes on them are buoy tenders. If you look close, you'll see red and green buoys on the decks of the boat, and up in the repair yard ahead of the ships are several large sea buoys waiting to be repainted, renumbered, and taken out and placed along our waterways. The Coast Guard is part of the Homeland Security Department. They're charged with the responsibility of protecting our coastline, ports, and harbors. The next vessels you see are the ones they use to accomplish that mission. Coast Guard cutters and patrol boats of various sizes and types. And large white cutter, the Dauntless, is one of the ocean-going Coast Guard cutters. It travels all over the world. Spent about 9 months down in Haiti helping out the earthquake victims. And the smaller orange and gray vessels are used for patrol boats, boarding parties, and search and rescue missions. Now we have a better view of the Bolivar Peninsula directly ahead of us, where the ferry boats go. Halfway down
they want you to
coast, we see a lighthouse, and to the far left is the ferry landing. Bolivar and Galveston are part of the barrier islands that protect the Texas coastline from hurricanes and storms. Halfway over to Bolivar, we have the Houston Ship Channel, quite a busy channel, between 40 and 60 ships transit the channel per day. To the far right is the Gulf of Mexico and all points beyond. And up to the left about 35 miles is the start of the Port of Houston. Houston is the 5th largest port in the world, the 3rd largest port in the United States. The ships at anchor off to our right in the distance are waiting for dock space up at the Port of Houston. In front of us we have Galveston Bay, which is about 25 miles wide and 35 miles long. A lot of people have heard about the sunken ship in Galveston. Well, there she is directly in front of us, behind that red marker. That's the SS Selma. She was built in Mobile, Alabama in 1918. Part of an experimental group of ships. She's made out of concrete and reinforced steel. When she was operating in Tampico, Mexico, she hit a jetty, put a 60-foot crack in her hull, and towed the ship back to Galveston, hoping to make repairs, but they were unsuccessful. So they decided to decommission the ship, and they scuttled her or sunk her. They put her on that shoal and marked the Mariner. That was in 1923. They probably didn't realize it at the time, but that very well may have been the first man-made artificial ring intentionally placed along the Texas Gulf Coast. Coming up on the right is Seawolf Park, which is a World War II memorial park. Seawolf has several attractions out here. There's a fishing pier. A lot of people fish off the rocks. The water deep, fishing's good. This white building was an observation platform and snack bar, but
is that the red marker?
It was totally destroyed by Hurricane Ike. We had a 12-foot tidal surge here in Galveston Harbor. You can see what the waves did to the concrete wind walls in front of the snack bar, washed right through the building, destroyed the entire facility. We're probably going to rebuild it sometime this year, but that's what they told me last year. There's also a playground and picnic area for families and 2 World War II ships here that you can go aboard and tour. If you'd like to take a trip out to Seawolf Park, it's easy to find. Just take Harborside Drive up to 51st Street. You take a right, go over the Pelican Island Bridge, and then follow the road around till it dead ends here at Seawolf Park.
How much the tour of those ships is? love to do that.
The two Navy warships that we have at Seawalt that you can go aboard and tour. First, the Black Submarine, number 244, is the USS Kavala. The Kavala didn't enter World War II until midway through the war, but she did have a distinguished career in the Pacific. She sank several thousand tons of enemy shipping and received a presidential proclamation when she sunk a 30,000-ton aircraft carrier that participated in the Pearl Harbor attack. Kavala is famous as far as submarines are concerned, only submarine in existence today, and sunk an aircraft carrier during World War II.
Have to go on.
The gray ship is a destroyer escort. It's the USS Stewart. It was named after Admiral Charles Stewart. He was the first commander of the USS Constitution, the first American battleship. A chance that anybody remember the nickname of the first American battleship from American history? Most of us have heard it before. But you don't teach that in American history any longer. The nickname of the first American battleship is Old Ironsides, currently moored in Boston Harbor. Built out of American oak, the side is so thick that the British cannonballs bounced off the side of it. As we pass by the warships, you can see they're quite small by today's standards. One can only imagine what it was like to be on one of those warships with a crew of 100 to 150 men aboard. Out here in Galveston Harbor, to give us a different perspective of Galveston Island. Over there behind the Coast Guard station, that's known as the east end of the island. A lot of people don't make it down to the east end for whatever the reason, but there's quite a bit to see and do down there. There's a 600-acre game reserve, or actually bird sanctuary down there, if you like significant seabirds. A lot of people go down and fish off the rocks. We have two jetties that flank the Houston Ship Channel to go out into the Gulf, 6 miles. There's a park down there that you can go walking on the wide beach. Over there behind the ferry landing, those are our first two real high-rise condominiums here in Galveston. They're about 30 stories each. Nice upscale residential community they're building called Beach Town, plus the condominiums.